Good morning everyone and welcome back. Today is December the 9th already. I have missed a couple of days uploading, as I'm sure you are aware. Over the weekend I came down with this weird heavy cold kind of flu thing. I thought it was flu, but it seems to be lifting as quickly as it came in. So apologies for the kind of the Gollum-esque look today. I'm still not even kind of 50%, but there's a couple of things I can be getting on with today to bring a little bit of festive cheer back into my life. Goodness knows I need it, but I'm at the point of this illness where I don't want anything touching me. So I've just scraped my hair back into one of those kind of early 2000s buns, you know, with the donuts. I've got one of them in, so it's just away from me, and I've got a snuggly sweater on and I'm just going to get on. So today we're going to be doing a couple of things. I want to have a second attempt at my dried orange slices. The last ones that I did the other week actually burned when I was bringing in the Tesco delivery. It took me a little bit longer than I thought, and by the time I got back in here they'd burned. So we're going to be doing attempt 2 on those, and then I'm also going to be making some of the studded oranges. I think they call them pomanders, those. I'm making some of those as well today. So just a couple of nice easy light bits, but still nice and festive. I've just opened the cloves and I can smell them from over here, so I know that it's definitely going to smell gorgeous in here. I'm not a huge fan of the baking oranges scent, so I've also got a gingerbread wax melt that I've just lit as well to make it all smell nice and festive in here as we get going. So without any further ado, let me show you the setup for this morning. Okay, so I have here my oranges. I probably won't use all of these. I'll use maybe 5 or 6. And then I have my little pot of cloves. I actually bought 3 pots from Tesco, thinking there wouldn't be all that many, but there's loads. So probably I'll have these still next year. Let's see, when's the October 26th. We're all good, we can use them next year. So I'll probably put these away with the Christmas decorations and we'll use them next year, any that I've got left. But yeah, let's get started with these. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take our orange, we're going to use a cocktail stick or a kebab skewer or some kind of pokey tool. I might get my crafting pokey tool, and we're going to make little holes everywhere we want to put a clove, and then we're going to pop a clove into that hole and we're going to make patterns on the orange. Let me just grab my pokey tool and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so could not find my pokey tool because of course if it's been left alone for more than 5 minutes in this house it goes walkabouts, but I do have this lovely big kebab skewer with a pointed end. That's all you need, just some kind of point that you can make a hole in the orange with. And then I'm literally going to start at the top and make a little hole in the skin and push my clove into that little hole. Boom, just like that, easy peasy. Make the next hole, push the next clove in, just like that. Let me check you guys are still in frame because I don't want me doing this all out of frame. Oh no, you are. And the next hole. So you can really kind of experiment with patterns with these. Certainly I want to be doing all of mine with a different pattern, so you get all this variety in the bowl. This is a really nice thing to do with children, as long as they are not small enough to try and eat the cloves. But it's a really nice, cheap, easy little Christmas craft that you can do, and they smell amazing. So I'm going to time lapse the rest of this particular one, and then I'm going to show you all the rest of them at the end. Okay, so that's the first one done with the 4 quadrants. I went a little bit off the line there, but it's okay, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna just sit down with a cup of tea and make a few more of these with some different patterns on, and then at the end I'll show you how I'm gonna arrange them in this little bowl here. Okay, now I've got all 5 of these finished. I've got my original one which I did here. I've got a kind of swirl pattern one that goes all the way around. I've got one that is just generally studded, one that is studded around the belly and then has 4 points on the top, and one that was supposed to be a star but looks like a spider. So yeah, these are my 5. I still have, in case you are wondering, quite a lot of cloves left from my first pot. I haven't even touched the second pot or the third pot, and I've got all these cloves left. So you definitely only need 1 pot of cloves if you're making this same kind of amount. If you are bringing kids in and family in to have a little bit of just festive fun and you have way more oranges than this, then definitely get more cloves. But if you're like me and you're just doing a little display, 1 pot of cloves is going to be plenty for you. Okay, so for actual displaying of this, I've got some bits left from my wreath making that I did the other day. I appreciate you haven't seen that video yet. There is a good reason for that, and that is that I'm having to re-record it because my camera decided it was going to make this weird buzzing noise the whole way through the video. So I'm going to have to take that apart and redo it. So that video is a little bit delayed, but I did have some pieces left over from when I did that, and I'm just going to make just a little nest. If I had floral foam, I'd put some in here and stick these into the floral foam to keep them still, but it's not going to see much action, so I think it'll be just fine. And then I think my favourite one is probably the swirl one, so I'm going to make sure that goes on the top. I'm just going to place them in just so they look nice. You could stick these together with like cocktail sticks just to help them hold together, but I think that is nice enough as it is. What I might do is, oh no, that's better, kind of lay these round instead of sticking out. There we go, and it's as simple as that. You've got a little display you can pop on a table somewhere. This is going to go by the sofa right next to where I sit because they smell amazing and I want to be able to smell that when I'm sitting down having a cup of tea. So with the rest of the oranges that I've got here, I'm going to have another attempt at the dried orange slices. See if I can make a better job of them this time. Sorry if I bumped the camera, I just need to get the knife out. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to slice these as thin as I can. Realistically, you don't want them massively thin because they're going to burn, but you also don't want them too thick because you need them to actually cook. Let me zoom in a little bit for you so you can see. So I'm going to take the end off because we're not going to need that anyway, and then I'm going to cut them about this thick, about that. So it's like a wedge, but it's not. I don't know, I'd say that's maybe 3/8 of an inch, half a centimetre, something like that thick. Try and get them kind of consistent in their thickness, otherwise you're going to have ones that burn and ones that don't cook at the same time. There we go. So they've got a nice little, oh, they smell so good. I might have to have one. Might set one aside for myself just for eating. And I'm going to do, I may do all 4, but I think probably just 3 will be enough because I want some of these for the wreath. I want some for our Christmas centerpiece, And I might pop some around the pomanders that we just made as well. So I want a few, but not massive amounts. Excuse me, my throat's still really sore. And no, I know my knife skills are nothing to be desired. There you go, got quite a few slices out of each orange. I think 3 will be enough. That 4th one can be for me. Oh, that's too thin. Again, that's too thin. I think this because this one's squishing underneath me. There we go. Okay, so we'll get rid of these little end pieces. We don't need those. And then I'm just going to line a tray with baking paper and we're going to lay them out flat. There we go, so they're all trayed up. As you can see, I've gotten about 20 slices out of this. I'm going to pop them into a cool oven, about 100 degrees. This is a fan assisted 100 degrees, so it'll be 120 on a normal oven. And I'm going to cook them low and slow. I'm going to turn them every 30 minutes or so until they're completely dried down and cooked. Keep an eye on them because they will burn if they get half a chance. And this one is for me because these are gorgeous and fresh and they smell delicious. So I'm definitely going to sit and have these. It might make me feel a little bit better. Still feeling so rough. I've got work tomorrow as well. What on earth am I going to do? Right, well, it's much later on in the day and these are all finished. They took probably about 3 hours, give or take. I was turning them every half an hour for the first hour and a half or so, and then I was turning them every 10-15 minutes after that. As you can see, they've all dried down really well, and these will be brilliant for either hanging on the tree or popping in the wreath, popping in the centerpieces. Just some nice little bits to have, and they should, in theory, last a few years before they've got to go away. Right, so it's now just gone 5:30 in the evening. Everyone is due home really soon. Rachel's just finishing up her shift and then she'll be home. And my dad came round to visit, which was an absolute blessing because he's just popped out to get us all a takeaway so I don't have to cook tonight while I'm feeling completely wretched. So I'm going to sign off for tonight. We're going to enjoy dinner and we're just going to have a nice relaxing evening. And then fingers crossed tomorrow I'll be feeling a little bit better and we can do a little bit more Christmas vlogging. I will see you tomorrow, guys. Bye bye.